So my name is Dibakar Das Roy. I'm from India, and my film is called Dilli Dark. And Dilli means New Delhi, and the film is about an African man, a Nigerian man by the name of Michael Okeke, who's living in New Delhi, and he's a student and he's trying to find a job for himself. It's a dark comedy, and it talks about the ideas of race, color and belonging. These are the main themes.
दिल्ली दिल वालों की। आज हम अपने शो पे एक ऐसे शख्स के बारे में बात करेंगे जो दिल्ली वाला तो नहीं है, पर दिल वाला जरूर।
Part of the film is inspired by my own experiences of growing up and facing certain amounts of bullying and for looking a little different, and that kind of went on for a certain amount of time, and a lot of it was supposed to be humorous, but I think a few years later, after all of that subsided, I did realize that it had certain effects on me in the longer term. It's also about things that I used to see around myself when I came to New Delhi, and I used to see certain African students, other cases of hostility against African nationals, and a certain kind of distrust or discrimination against people who are not from there. And I think all of this together kind of created this concept.
Equally love you here, bro. It's not just you.
Kevin, bro, you are dedicato.
Everybody knows MiWY is a famous one.
South Delhi.
No. Where are you really from, sir?
So there were two reasons where I kind of checked myself, primarily because protagonist is Nigerian, and I knew that there'd be a point of time where I would always be asked that you're an Indian man, how are you talking about a Nigerian protagonist? What gives you the right to do that, right? So I felt that I had to be very authentic, and where I changed the kind of perspective to a third person's perspective, which is almost like the city's perspective of this man, rather than a first person's perspective of, so you're only going into his thoughts at certain points of time. Otherwise, you're seeing how he's interacting with the city itself, right? The second part where I started questioning my authenticity was to do with things with humor. Am I laughing at the wrong things? And should I be doing that? But, I think that's the most important part of being the process of writing and the process of creating, is that you have to just see whether that voice, you're okay with that voice. If you're okay with that voice, then it's good. You'll hear a lot of things from people, but I think the best thing you can do is be very comfortable in that voice. I know a lot of people wanted me to make a very sad and dark story about, someone being constantly, barraged, but that's not the kind of person I am, and that's not the kind of film I could make, So I knew that my natural reaction to all despair or all the sadness of life is to kind of laugh at it. It's almost a childish kind of reaction, but I felt that it's a weapon in a lot of ways. It's a very strong thing to be able to laugh at something, and I felt that, when you can do that, you're more authentic.
ये अंधेर नगरी है, यहाँ गलत रास्ते ही मेन रोड है।
Michael, you want to become Indian, na? Then struggle.
It was a fantastic experience, because I also feel that, especially when it comes to movies in India, people who are in power and who are making the main movies, they're in a very old mindset, and say they dictate what is to be made, right? And very often the current stuff gets left out because we're too busy, admiring what has happened in the past and, going with the stars of the present. So it was a very refreshing experience because I knew that this is something which is very current, and it was great, and it was the best thing to, be able to hear the reactions and feel that, it's been understood. Thank you so much for it. It was fantastic.
काले हैं दिल वाले हैं हम काले हैं दिल वाले हैं